Howdy, this is Crafty Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover first round cutoff for the Kingpin and Gambit arenas. So the first thing I like to do is always kind of compare these arenas to past arenas, as that's really how I do my trend analysis. And when it comes to 4-star, or should I say any star feature arenas, I'm seeing the results kind of fall into that new champ and old champ bucket, and clearly with Gambit he's in the old category as he's been in the game for some time. When it comes to Kingpin and the 4-star basic arena, they're still kind of like low interest bundles and a mid interest bundle. We haven't yet seen the high interest numbers that we saw before the 5-star arena, but we haven't seen them yet since the 5-star arenas have been added. Maybe we will, maybe we will never see those ranges, but right now I'm calling this mid interest. But it's really close, I think, Kingpin to being a low interest champ as well. So with that in mind, here's kind of specifically why I think Kingpin falls into the mid-interest results, because it's kind of like what we see here with Dr. Octopus from 2 million to 2.4 million. I think that's really going to be the zone for Kingpin, whereas with Hela you see it from 3.5 to 3.5 between round 1 and round 2, and Thor Ragnarok saw similar numbers. And the reason why I think we saw those numbers is that's because they were just added to the crystals, if not even in the regular crystals yet. So there wasn't a way for folks to get these champions. They actually were added a little bit early into the 4-star basic arena calendar, just because Thor Ragnarok came out as a for digital home movie purchase at that time. So Kabam went ahead and tried to ride the Thor Ragnarok excitement by adding these folks back into the 4-star basic arenas a little early. So I think that's why you see that spike in those numbers, but I think 2 million to 2.4 is really what we can expect. Now when we jump into the 4-star feature recent arena results for old champs, you can see it's really kind of stabilized between 5 million and 6 million here with based off of the Thor, Jane Foster, and Storm results. And you can see the top 10% shard tier falling anywhere from 3.2 to 4 million. I think that 4 million is kind of now that plateau that we'll be hanging around at for some time. And then we jump over to the 5-star feature arena. You can see we did have that early 15.9, but then jumped to 20 million for Jane Foster in round 2. And then with Storm, and hung around between 20 to 21 million, almost 22 million in round 2. So keeping all of this in mind, and I didn't even bother to throw the 3-star feature results, just because those have been really stabilized even before the 5-star feature arena was added. And to be quite honest with you, if you're in the veterans bracket, which these numbers reflect, you're probably not going for old champs so much in the 3-star feature arena. Maybe you're going after some shard tiers, but that's about it. Anyway, in terms of what I asked the community this time around, I was curious to see what people thought about the 4-star basic arena. Do they think Kingpin's going to be closer to Dr. Octopus numbers or more like Hela's? And you can see here, out of 247 of you who took the time to vote, and thank you very much, most of you felt, a majority of you anyway, felt, 53% to be exact, felt that he would fall on that 2 to 2.5 number. So very similar to Dr. Octopus. And a number of you in the comments section provided some good explanation behind your vote, and definitely concepts I believe in. And here's a couple that Lucifer for one provided. Simply, people don't care about 4 stars anymore, and I completely agree with that. I think the value of the 4-star champ in the game, unless you're new, and he points that out for 4 stars, unless it's not a god tier champ, don't bother about it. I would say that if they're a beginner or somebody that they don't have, that's why you'd go after. And I think it's maybe somebody that's progressing, that doesn't have a lot of 4 stars, and that's a great time to be in the game. And I'm glad to see that for the broader community, especially folks newer in the community, just because this allows them to catch up quicker. If these numbers are going to hang around the 2 million to get in the arenas versus what we used to see for a champ like this in the 3 million zone, it'll allow more folks who are still catching up and progressing up their roster to get them quicker. And I think another good point that SPFS 25 makes here, with this new format, this seems to be the number, and we'll only see 3 million plus anymore when we see these high interest champs like Blade, Medusa, Archangel, and Void, which will be coming all here in the next couple weeks or months in some cases. So, and I agree. I think we won't see 3 million plus numbers anymore, unless for some reason we get an early introduction of a champion in the 4-star basic arena like we saw with Hela and Thor Ragnarok, or otherwise they're god tier champ, kind of like a Blade or a Medusa, for example, kind of thing. So thanks again, everybody who took the time to vote. Good points for sure. So with all this in mind, here are my thoughts for the Veterans Bracket first round, or I should say round 1 predictions. Starting over on the left with a 5-star Gambit. I think 21 million is the number we're going to see. These are actual cutoff numbers with the top 10% at 10.2 million. Jumping over to the 4-star feature, I think Gambit will come in right around 5.5 million with the top 10% at 4 million. And then when we jump over to Kingpin, I think it'll be right around 2.1 million with 11 to 25%, 1.55 million. And lastly, the cutoffs for the 3-star Gambit will be right around 675,000 with 11 to 25% here at 550,000. Again, these are the cutoffs when it comes to actual grind targets for the Veterans Bracket. I think if you safely want to get Gambit, you'll need to go to 23 million for the 5-star Gambit, that is. If you want to safely get that top 10% 5-star Arena shard tier, you want to go to 11 million. If you want to make sure you get that 4-star Gambit, you better go to 6.5 million with that top 10% at 4.5 million. And lastly, Kingpin, or not lastly, but next with Kingpin, you want to get a 2.4 million with 11 to 25% here at 1.6. And then lastly, when it comes to the 3-star feature Gambit, if you really want to make sure you grab him, go to 700,000. You should be fine with 11 to 25% here at 580,000. Now, again, these are for the Veterans Brackets, the grind targets. These numbers will give you a little cushion from where I think the cutoffs will be, just in case some unexpected things happen and some numbers are pushed a bit higher than what we've normally seen here over the last couple of weeks. When it comes to the beginner and intermediate bracket, I don't have a ton of results to look at. I mean, these numbers change all the time. Even the number of people participating change as people move from the different brackets and move up all the way eventually to veterans within 61 days. It's just really hard to get a good read. So here are just some general ranges to kind of consider based off of my own personal experience and from a handful of folks who have shared their recent results. 3-star feature in the beginner's bracket, you want to go to 245,000. The 4-star basic, you want to go to 1.2 million, and the 4-star feature, you want to go to 1.2 million. For the intermediate bracket, you want to go 3-star feature 550, maybe even 500,000. With the 4-star basic, you want to go around 1 million to 1.1 million. And lastly, for the 4-star feature Gambit, this says 1.8. I really think that's high, based especially off of some numbers that other folks have shared with me. 1.1 to 1.2 should get you the 4-star Gambit. So anyway, these are just really rough ranges, though. Just grind as hard as you can on the different champs you want when you're in these earlier brackets to make sure you get them. But this just gives you some rough ranges of past results. And again, even more so here with these brackets versus the veterans, past results definitely do not guarantee future results, as these are very volatile brackets, to be sure. Now, coming back here to the grind target and round 1 predictions, I'm feeling a lot better with these predictions now that we're getting a lot of samples of past arena results since the inclusion of the 5-star feature arena. So pretty soon I'll get them off the rough prediction round, but still these are just kind of like rough predictions. And again, these are my thoughts. Would love to hear your thoughts. Throw them on down in the comment section. We can definitely talk about them there. And if you have any questions, throw them on down in the comment section. We can talk to them there too. And if you like this video, would really appreciate you if you hit that thumbs up button. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, would really appreciate a subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.